And remember, keep doing a little bit every day because a lot of littles make a big. Keeper of the Mountain. Well, we know that in the last couple of years, things have been a little rough here in the world we live in, with this pandemic and a plethora of other things that have gone on at the same time. It's no surprise that that's having an effect on the YouTube world as well. And I'm, believe me, not getting political at all here. I'm just explaining things, what's actually going on. I'm having the same supply issue that everybody else is. I'm having trouble getting things. It's like my engine. You know the engine, the one I've been working on? Yeah. I need to finish putting it together. But I'm still waiting on parts. Yep. First of all, it was really hard to find the parts at all, anybody who actually had them. But it was also one of those situations where when I did find them, it was the last set, so I'm not really sure they actually had them. They said they shipped them. They said they're on their way. Supposed to show up today. Yeah, well, it's been delayed, so we'll see how that works. I mean, there's been a lot going on. Let's see, with the shipping crisis, there's been all kinds of difficulties in the shipping of anything. I mean, everything in our world, it seems, is at least partly made in China. And over in China, they're having a lot of problems with the pandemic, and they keep closing ports and closing factories and things like that. So things just aren't getting built. And then even if you try to buy them in the United States, you know, things that are made in America, a lot of the materials that they use to make their things is made in China. So it affects them too. They can't get the materials to make their stuff, then I can't get the stuff from them. On top of that, there's the entire West Coast and a lot of the East Coast too. So there's been a lot of theft involved. Like in California especially, train robberies are up 700%. So a lot of the stuff you do order, when it does get out of a port onto a boat and gets to California to the port, well, there's nowhere to put it because ports are full because they can't get trucks to come in. And that's kind of because they made half the trucks in the country illegal because they changed the laws, and if your truck isn't practically new, they don't want it in the state. So over half of the trucks in the country can't even come into California to get the freight. And speaking from experience, driving a big truck in California is not easy in the first place. It's very expensive, and boy, they just give you a physical every time you go through a weigh station. I've been through the one in Banning. Anybody who drives trucks been through the Banning weigh station can vouch for what I'm saying. On top of all that, whatever the train company is that goes into California is threatening to stop running trains because they're getting robbed so much. So anyway, all that adds up, and I'm not going to try to explain to you why all that stuff is happening at once. I'll let you figure that out. You're smart enough. You can figure out why these things are happening. But the reason I even bring it up at all is it's really affecting my ability to make videos about my car because I can't get everything I need. However, some stuff has come in, so I'm going to show you. I'm gonna take you through, and I'm going to reveal today the color that my engine is going to be. I asked a few videos back for recommendations on what color to make it. I got several really good recommendations, and if you remember, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link below for it. I said I'm not painting it Ford blue. Yeah, well, I'm not painting it Ford blue, but you'll have to wait till the end of the video to see that. Let's get to opening presents here and see what I've got. Right, I need to put my engine together, And to put my engine together, I have these. Brand new bearings. And these are the factory original spec. So they're not undersized or oversized or however you want to call that. But these are just the main bearings. The bearings I'm waiting on is the rod bearings. So this project's on hold until I get rod bearings. I also got a new oil filter because you need a new oil filter, and I wanted black. I know some of you don't like Wix oil filters. Some of you do. Some of you prefer Fram, some something else. But I got the Wix because it's black, and I wanted a black oil filter. I got assembly goo. This was the only thing available. They normally have assembly lube in a little squeeze bottle. You can just squirt a little dab on there, but they didn't have that. They only have it in buckets because they just can't get the parts. For the frame of the car, I am going to paint it with this tractor and truck exterior oil-based enamel, and this is some really tough paint. That's going on the frame, and it's going to hold up and preserve the frame and take good care of it. Now I know if I was going to put this car in shows like SEMA or something, I'd be detailing this frame out like crazy. This thing would be just like pinstriped and everything else, but that's not what's happening with this car. I expect this car to be a driver, so that's what I'm putting on the frame. Then I have also got the stuff to do copper plating. Now that's a big deal because I don't even know what's in this bag. We'll find out. I say that because before I put this part on, which is, let's find out what this part is. Let's open it up. I know I have a knife here for opening. Here we go. These are all parts I've been waiting for, and they all started coming in. It's awesome. We have a brand new water pump. How sweet is that? I love it. Wow, that's pretty, and pretty simple too. I wanted to replace this with a copper nipple, but this appears to be a press fit, so I'm not going to mess with that. I will work with that later and make this what I need it to be. I'm going to probably have to find me some copper braided covering for hoses. I wonder if anybody makes that. If you know of a place that makes that, let me know, because I'm going to need some. Because, as is probably no surprise to any of you, I'm kind of a steampunk fan. I like that copper and brass and wood and all those sort of things. And so that's why I'm decorating this thing in copper. And another color, which I haven't told you about yet, have I? Well, let me show you what I got here for the plating process. I got this kit. Let's open the kit up. See what's in the kit. Ooh, look at that. All these little drill mount buffing wheels and cleaning stones. How sweet is that? Man, there's just a ton of these in here. Look at all this. Look at all this. This is awesome. And then these stones here. All these stones and buffers. And then 3 buffing compounds. Now you gotta know buffing compounds a little bit in order to do buffing. And I'll go over all that when it's time to buff. But there's 3 different grades here. There's the heavy duty. Then there's the triple E, and then there's the jeweler's stuff. Anyway, that's what's in this kit. This is for the detail work. And then I got several buffing wheels. These buffing wheels. And there's a good reason for buffing wheels. having multiple buffing wheels, because when you're dealing with different kinds of metal, you never want to mix one metal from another. Like if you use a buffing wheel on steel, on mild steel, and then you turn around and use it on stainless steel, little bits of steel will be in your buffing wheel, and it will impregnate it in the stainless, and then it'll get little rust spots and rust streaks that happen on your stainless when it shouldn't. So yeah, something to keep in mind. And I'm going to be polishing steel and brass and copper, and so I'm going to need plenty of these wheels in order to have a different one for each kind of metal. Ouch! Also got this, a nice wire wheel, which I'm going to use for cleaning metal, and extra buffing compound. I got brushes, I got a can of paint remover so that I can remove paint from the metal. And then I got a really cool tool. You're gonna like this. Oh, you're gonna like this. Because I have to mount this and everything. Paperwork. Turn this box upside down. More buffing wheels. And I have a brand new two-axle buffer. Look at that. It's got a base, a bolt-on base, and this is going to be so nice. I'm going to be mounting it to this piece of angle iron. I'm going to put mount a board to this piece of angle iron and mount this to to the board and through the angle iron, and then this will actually, I'm going to use this edge because, as you can see here, this side's tapered, this side's flat. The flat side will go in the vise, which is already bolted to the bench, and then the buffer will be on top of it, and that'll leave the buffing wheels sticking out in the open air where I can use them. It'll be great. But I'm so looking forward to using this. I thought about building my own buffer, but I could not buy the parts, not even close to the parts to build my own buffer for the cost of this buffer. Hopefully it works out well. It looks nice. Looks like it should do the trick. I can't wait to get things ready for plating using this equipment I just got, and then copper plate them. Which brings me to another thing I bought. Oh, this is cool. This is not something you don't have just laying around. This is special stuff. These are nickel ingots. Part of the plating process, from what I understand, is plating things with nickel and then putting copper plating over the nickel plating. And that's my understanding anyway. That's still a work in progress, but I needed some nickel in order to do the plating correctly. So that'll be a fun and interesting thing, and I'm really looking forward to using this stuff. See, I've got this bag, and I don't remember what's in it, but I know I bought something. So let's find out what's in it. Oh, tear here to open. I'm going to cut things, but I don't have to. And what is it? Dun, 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 another bag. So what's in the other bag? Oh, I know what this is. You can tell by the feel. I remember now. this has to do with the plating as well. The plating on small parts, it's best to use low voltage, like 3 volts DC. So here I am. I got little boxes to put D cells in so that I can power the process. It'll be so cool now that I have all these parts. I waited a long time for these. These came from California and they were stuck in shipping for a long time. But they finally came. I suppose that leaves me with no choice left but to reveal the color. Ta-da! No, that's not the color. This is the primer. This is the primer I'm putting down on the engine before I paint it. Now mind you, all the trim, the valve covers, and some stuff is going to be plated in copper. That color right there. So I needed a color that would work with copper. So I ordered it and I got it. Now I asked for what do you call it? Recommendations for what color to color my engine, and I got a few. But one in particular really stuck with me, and I felt I needed to go with that recommendation. And my viewer, actually my sister-in-law, more of a sister, she recommended this color, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be perfect. And here's the color. Now you're thinking, oh, Pontiac colors. No, that is not Pontiac engine color. This is known as, it's a duplicolor Torquin teal. And teal is a better color than the Pontiac color because it just is. And look how it works with the copper. That is just going to set it off right there. And so there you go. The colors are there. And I just can't wait to get going on this engine. I'm just waiting for that one piece to come in. Those bearings, so I can put the engine together and start painting and cleaning, because the engine and the transmission are going to end up this color, and the trim pieces are going to be a gloss black, and then there's going to be copper tubing everywhere. Anything that needs to run through a tube or a pipe is going to be run through copper. It's going to look pretty cool, and I might even throw a few gauges on there just for the fun of it. But any gauge I do put on there is going to actually work and serve a purpose. I'm not going to put gauges on there just for looks, although there's nothing wrong with that either if that's what you want to do. But I really like gauges that actually do something. Well, thanks for watching, and I know I didn't get a whole lot done today, if anything, other than opening up some boxes. But you know, sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to just figure it out and let people know what you're planning on, and deal with difficulties as they come, and supply issues or whatever. And we'll get there. We'll get it done. And I'm looking forward to this thing starting to take shape and looking nice, and getting into the plating process, and the also getting into the process of powder coating. A good friend of mine and a viewer by the name of Al Groshon, who actually had, his channel is My Hillbilly Ways. I'll put a link in the bottom on that one too. And he's got a couple videos out and stuff, but we're gonna be doing some powder coating together. I don't know if he'll be making some videos on that or not, but he can certainly. It's his shop and his equipment, and I'm just buying the powder coat, so it'll be kind of interesting to see his take and my take together on the powder coating process. It'll be fun. So looking forward to that, and I hope y'all are there for it, and come back again, and be sure to like and subscribe and share the video. Appreciate it. And remember, keep doing a little bit every day, because a lot of littles make a big. See you next time.